What's going on, everybody? You are tuned in to another episode of Chopping It Up with Q. I'm Q.
And I'm VJ.
Oh, she's so late on it, man. Y'all, man, no, I'm messing with you. No, man. Hey, man, you're tuned into another episode, post-Turkey Day. Oh.
Celebrated Turkey Day to y'all, or however you celebrate. It's not Indigenous People Day because that's Columbus Day, so, just happy, celebrate, and enjoy being off and with your family day.
Yeah, you're right. That's kind of funny. There's a lot of people who are now saying they don't celebrate Thanksgiving. I never really looked at Thanksgiving as a celebration. I just looked at it as a reason to eat food that's not good for me.
I think that's a lot of people, right? Because, you don't... Obviously, we know that whole thing about pilgrims and Indians or Native Americans getting together and sharing a meal and blah, blah, like, we all know that's bullshit at this point. So none of us are getting together and celebrating that as our reason. We're celebrating, essentially, I've always looked at it as a celebration of a good harvest, I think, to some extent, or just kind of time off to be with family and friends. You know what I'm saying? Like a day of thanks. Like I think that's that's about what it amounts to. I don't think anybody's celebrating pilgrims at this point. I think this is a day to be thankful that I am with friends and family and that we can enjoy each other.
Yeah. I don't know. Do they still teach that story of the pilgrims in schools? I honestly couldn't even remember it. To be
like, you're the one with kids. You tell me what they teach them.
I don't know. Nah, man. See, my kids are the wrong ones to teach because they'll come back and, especially my youngest, she'll be pointing out all the fallacies. And, hey, man, that don't make sense. Like, she found out about Santa Claus, like, by age 4. She just kind of figured it out.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Because she was real one.
Yeah, she started asking questions like, wait, hold up. How does he actually get around she actually asked this question. She was like, how does he really get around the world in like half the night with reindeer? And I was like, oh, well, he got magic. And then she was like, Dad, magic don't exist, right? Yeah, but then she was like, well, how he get, everybody don't have chimneys. Oh, he got a magic key. So he breaking in everybody's house?
Listen, if we keep it at a buck, do we really want any white bearded men breaking into our homes to leave anything?
Nah, not really.
It sounds like
they not leaving something that you want to keep.
I was like, it sounds like a domestic terrorist situation. Like they about to, like it sounds like some like KKK redneck man with like a long ass beard broke into your house and then left a bomb wrapped in like Christmas paper. That sounds like domestic terrorism to me. I'm good.
Look, think about it. Like, you went to everybody's spot, left packages unknown. Look, you can't deliver unknown package to anybody's house now. You're going to have FBI at your spot.
So basically what you're telling me is that Santa is on the terror watch list.
I'm sure, most likely.
All right.
Flying through international skies and everything,
Now you know what I'm saying. That's why he got slaying reindeer, because he can't get on a commercial flight.
Oh, man.
He on the watch list.
Oh, man, all these things that we tell our kids that we know ain't true, but I don't know, man. We did have some of the, I don't want to say slower people, the people who just weren't as quick on it. They believed all the way up until they were about like 15, 16. It's like, dog, you still believe there's a Santa Claus, huh? And like, yeah, man, I promise I seen him. Oh, all right.
Yeah. Well, you gotta let people believe in what they believe in, but I think at some point, at 15 or 16, you have to have a better grasp of some things.
Yeah, because life is way more complicated than deciding that there's a happy-go-lucky bearded white man that only comes around one day. Maybe what if Santa was an allegory of an absentee father? He only come around one time a year.
Okay, bye.
I'm just saying.
Okay, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Chopping Up with Q podcast. This has been V, and we're just gonna go ahead and close this out.
I'm just saying, you see him once a year, not even that long. You just come in, oh, what's up? All right, man, I'm gonna come back next year, pick up my kids. I forgot what that was on.
Teen movie, or that's the one where it's like a spoof or dance movie or whatever. Yeah, it was one of those Wayans Brothers spoof movies or whatever. He had to pick up my son, and he held him up and was like, "I bet to pick him up again next week." It set it back in the carrier, yeah.
Hey, y'all just heard it here, man. Santa, that's just a story of how your most, pops only came around one time. You probably can't even pick that nigga out of the lineup. Goddamn.
All right.
Now,
Um.
I would say
Hmm?
that I have also been debating my old lady about how Die Hard and Chucky are actually Christmas movies, but she don't
But
believe me.
don't like the ultimate Christmas movie. So that's my favorite. If anybody ever asks me what my favorite Christmas movie is, that is what I say. Die Hard is my favorite.
I've been trying to tell her because I said, look, it all started in a Christmas party. It was Christmas Eve when it all went down.
Yeah, I mean, and what are we saying the criteria for, like, does a Christmas movie have to be full of, Christmas time stuff, or can it just happen at Christmas, right? That's what my thought would be. A Christmas movie is a movie centered around the Christmas time. Like, the plot doesn't have to be about Christmas, because, I mean, how many times can you do a plot about Santa or reindeer or whatever?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Unless you're Hallmark. Unless you're Hallmark, because they got that on lock.
Yeah. Because I mean, I was trying. We trying to start this whole thing at our house where we, one night we all get in our pajamas and stuff, and we watch. Everybody pick a Christmas movie to watch, and mine was Die Hard. And she kind of looked at me funny style, and I was like, "What?" She's like, "That's not a Christmas movie." I said, "It is. It goes on around Christmas, all that stuff." And I was like, hey, "How can you get more Christmas than that?" So
True. And was it Child's Play? He got the doll for Christmas? Is that?
yeah, it was. He was. Yeah, Chucky was. I believe was supposed to be a Christmas present or going to be a Christmas present.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. Y'all let me know. Am I tripping to saying that it's Die Hard and Chucky are Christmas movies? But
I think they are.
anyways, but how was your Thanksgiving though?
It was good. I obviously was in the middle of moving. So I start my new job tomorrow. So we did Thanksgiving, but we did it kind of like scaled back. We, just kind of we didn't have turkey this year. We just kind of we did ham and sides and stuff instead of the turkey. Cause it was just a few of us eating, cause, everybody has their own stuff going on. And my cousin, he has to go to work. He works retail, so he'll be back at work at like 5 o'clock. So.
Oh man, don't remind me. So I can tell my 72 hours. No, not even that long. My bad. my 3 days and it wasn't even full 8-hour shifts of working at Target.
That's be good. All right.
Man, okay, so I call myself, I'm like, yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and just, do a little holiday job, just to make a little extra bread and so on and so forth. So I was like, okay, I'll just go to Target. It won't be that bad. I've done retail before. It's been a while, but I've done it. Mm-hmm. And I was even trying to, the bad thing is, I had to actually go in and finally tell Alicia she was right, because she was like, you don't need to do that. It's not even worth the time. And I was like, oh no, Alicia, it will be fine. I promise. So, first couple of days, it was okay. I was like, all right, it ain't too much. People needy, but it is what it is. Then Black Friday hit, and I'm there for like 9 hours. Like, I had to go in from 5 to 2. And I was just like, the whole time, I was like, man, why am I here? I was like, I could walk away right now. I could just leave. But I stayed, and when I say people are needy around that time, look, shout outs to anybody who works in retail, like full time. Y'all the real ones. Especially having to deal with everybody and all they need in this because they can't find stuff that's right in front of them. But that was rough. I ain't gonna lie, man.
Which is wild because I think honestly in terms of Black Friday, Target's probably one of the more organized stores as far as what happens. So if Target was bad, I can only imagine what these other places look like.
Man, it's funny because they tried to get me to go electronics when I got there that Friday. And then as soon as I got there, they pulled me over to another department. I said, ooh, thank you. Because when I say electronics got hammered all night.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm good, man. People walking around there with like 4 or 5 TVs. But then I got a shout out to Geronimo from the crap.
Drinking Partners?
There you go, man. It's been a while. Yeah. Drinking Partners. He put it on Twitter trolling folks talking about, he said, help me understand. I'm about to paraphrase, but y'all, every year, y'all buying the same TV. Basically showing how trash they are because they only last a whole year until you got to get another one for Black Friday.
Well, I think that's everybody's pushing, right? Everybody's going to get in the same fucking, because I mean, it's the same stuff that's on special.
Yeah.
So you're going every year and getting the same stuff.
Look, every time they be like, yeah, this new TV. What brand is it? I don't know. It's just a TV. Like literally, it'd be like the most no name in this product. You don't even know where it came from. You're like, what?
Hey, off brand. Like it's somebody's last name. What kind of TV is that? The Burton,
Yeah, basically.
Jackson,
What?
Johnson,
You be
Smith,
like,
Arbitrary Smith.
why can't? How come I can only get this one time a year? Man, is that special?
This is Smith line. They only manufacture it October through December.
Oh man, that's a lot. I think I only been shopping Black Friday one time in my life, and I was like, this was like not worth it. I can just buy what I need online or go any other time of the year. But that was me saying. I get it. People, if they feel like they get a deal, they're gonna be out there.
Well, here's the thing. I think Black Friday in the next couple of years will probably not even be Black Friday. Because it seems to me that, like, a lot of places do deals the entire week of Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And then the stores don't stay closed all of Thanksgiving. You can go after you eat, essentially, and get stuff. And then you're sliding into Friday. And then after you are sliding into Friday, you have Cyber Monday. So it just seems like why are people even? I just feel like it's going to go to a point to where the stores are going to be open on Thanksgiving and it's not even going to be a Black Friday. Like they're going to be like, oh, stuff goes on sale Wednesday. It's going to go on sale the Wednesday before Thanksgiving and just be on sale the whole entire rest of the week.
Hey, that's actually funny. Ain't nobody ever just realized how Thanksgiving is like mistreated. It's really looked at as Christmas, another Christmas Eve.
Well, I mean, I think that's the thing, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think anybody thinks Thanksgiving is special. It's an excuse to be off from work because people are just like, fuck it, I'm chilling with my family. Like nobody celebrates Thanksgiving as an actual holiday. You just be glad to be at home.
Oh man! Oh, other good news is we actually did our own cooking here, and I actually made some. The stuff I made actually came out right. I'm proud of myself just a little bit.
Congrats, nobody died.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, everybody survived. Everybody said it was great. But only thing I had to do is just because I was able to do it that day, if anybody from my family is listening, don't mean I'm gonna be doing it next year. That's what the elders for. They got that.
Well, yeah, and I think they're also getting to a point where they're getting older, and it's like one of those things. Like somebody also made the joke, it's like trying to get a recipe from a Black woman is impossible. Because you're like, well, what goes in there? They're like, just a pinch of that, and you throw that in there, and you're just like, okay, well then if you die, Big Mama, what are we supposed to eat? Because you ain't told us nothing. We ain't a recipe.
When I say trying to get those recipes from my grandma and my mom, and they couldn't tell me measurements, they were like, I was like, hey, how much is this? I don't know. I just throw it in and then taste it. I was like, that's not helping me. I don't know where to start.
Yeah, the blood vessel. I mean, and I think that's where it comes from. People say if you're a cook, it has to come from the heart, right? Like it has to come from the soul for you to be a good cook. Because measurements don't help that. But I'm also one of those people. I'm like, if mine is missing love, then this is gonna have to be what it is. I'm going to sacrifice the love to me. You can tell me how many cups I need to put in here.
Thank you. I was like, at least give me a starting spot. I can figure it out from there. Don't be like, oh man, yeah, just take your hand and just dump it in, whatever feels right, stick it. And I was like, nah, it ain't. That's not how we want to do this.
Well, what if whatever feels right to me is 2 times as much as what feels right to you and makes it taste good? Then we cook.
There you go. But yeah, man, that was funny because I had to get 2 recipes from my grandma and 1 from my mom, and yeah, it was. I was like, look, just guesstimate. Give me an idea of what you think you use. Oh, okay. So, oh man, but it was fun though. Time consuming because it took about had to start cooking Wednesday always and then finish to like Thursday morning. So
that's usually how it goes. Anytime that I've done prepared the entire meal, I start. Since I quit my job, the past 4 years for Thanksgiving, it has been we work Wednesday until 2, and then I would get off Wednesday. Go grab any groceries that I was missing, and I would spend Wednesday afternoon from probably about 5 o'clock into Thursday morning cooking.
Oh man, it's a lot. Hey, shout outs to all the Black women in the home who be putting in the work over the stove, good work over the stove, because we know that we all have some aunties or some cousins Or hey, it may even be your mama. I'm sorry, who they only tell to bring salad or prepackaged shit. There's a reason behind that.
But if you and you know, look, don't take it personally. If you're the person that everybody always asks to bring soda or rolls, just know that you're probably the weakest link. It's not personal. Don't nobody want their Thanksgiving fucked up. We there for food, and you're not gonna ruin it for everybody.
Exactly. I'm just saying, like, look, know your spot, man. Everybody ain't meant to be great in certain areas. So just
Speaking of things falling short of greatness, so Macy's put out an ad for pajamas. They do their annual pajama sale, and they do like this cute little spread. They have pajamas for the whole family, and they have all these different types of families. And they had black families and white families and gay families and straight families, and then they had a black single mom, but then there were no white single moms.
and you know, Hotep, Twitter, and Instagram were heated behind this because this is nothing but another way for the white man to then put down the black families by saying that these sisters ain't gonna have no men and that he would rather be with his fellow man than with her.
See, and then they said it was something about a gay agenda, and look, I'm still trying to figure out what the gay agenda is. Like, what are they trying to get you to do? Let them have equal rights? Like, is that an agenda?
I mean, by definition, sure. I mean, agenda is not negative. That just means this is my plans and goals. But, you know, people, when they say certain things, they'll automatically mean they're trying to take over your way of life.
When wanted to be free to slaves, or when black people wanted to have equal rights and protections and be able to eat at the same counter as white people, was the nigger agenda?
Probably.
All right, I'm just making sure we're on the same page here because I just didn't know that you know, protecting your civil liberties and feeling like you should be represented in print and media the same way other groups of people are was an agenda.
Yep,
I mean, apparently. In the purest sense of the word, but the way that they're using it, it sounds crazy. Like, I don't think thinking of an agenda and what we would define an agenda as are the same thing.
Yes. Now, that's why I said based on the definition. Now, how people are using it, that's something different. Apparently, they're here to take over your way of life and, you know, poison all your kids' minds and so on and so forth. You know, you got to watch out for them.
Yeah, y'all got to watch out for those black single moms, man.
Yeah, I know, man. They just trying to squeeze out us black men, man. See, we don't want to do nothing but love them.
And they don't want you getting their pictures. They don't want you to have pajamas or nothing. They said, we don't see you niggers. Get out of our pajamas.
I was waiting to see that person who was going to say, see, this is why they think they fathers already. But no, serious question though. How much does imagery and, you know, visions, imagery, media, all these things really play into how you feel about yourself? Because I'm one of those ones, I don't take that real serious because I'm like, look, maybe that's who they were able to get. Maybe these were the best people, and it's like, unless you're going to make the young man a grown-up man, at the end, they're just trying to sell products. So,
yeah, but I think it's one of those things when you get to a certain age, that does not matter to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think once you are a fully formed adult, that does not matter. I'm not going to sit here and say representation does not matter, but it does. But I think representation definitely matters more so for younger generations of people. Like, if we're talking in terms of, like, when I was a kid, people always talk about, you know, how they weren't allowed to have, like, white dolls. Like, I had some white dolls. My mom was one of those people, too. She just didn't feel like I should have dolls that looked like me. Okay. And so she also went out of her way to make sure that I did. And so I think it's one of those, it's like that. Because you think about it, like, it's like, okay, you're playing with these dolls, you see these cartoons, you see these images, and none of them ever look like you. And then you remember the first time someone on TV does look like you. And it is a good feeling. But I think if you are doing your due diligence as a parent, then you are finding ways to show representation to your children and aren't relying on the media to be your child's point of self-esteem, I guess is what I'm trying to get.
Because I know me and Eric, we talk about this a lot because, you know, he's a part of the LGBTQ community and we talk about representation. And I always say, I don't mind representation if it's good. You know, I always hated when they'll throw a black person in a movie just to say that we got to check that box. and this person has like zero character, so it's like they serve zero purpose.
Yeah, and it's like you're a token, and that's the thing. I think there's you don't want to be a token, but you also don't want to have no representation. So I think the goal here is to keep pushing forward and saying there need to be faces and people that represent the world at large, but they still need to have fully fleshed out characters and show that these people that you are trying to use as tokens are fully fleshed out human beings.
Yeah. I think the issue that happens is Hollywood, just like all of us, we have an overcompensation problem. So what happens is when we introduce certain things, we make the aspect that they are gay or lesbian, or they are black or Hispanic. That's a part of their character, and it's like, no, it's not. That's just who they are. Their character is how they act. So I don't know. It's always been so we always talked about. But
well, right. I think that they pull that one thing that they're using is the box they're checking, and that's what they try to shape their personality or their backstory around.
Yeah.
And it's like a person can be gay, but that can be secondary to an actual plot line and them having a fleshed out character. A person can be black and that not be the center of their character as a person. And I think that's the problem. You can have these faces and these people, and it can still flow with the storyline. It's like I don't know. Hollywood tries, like you said, they overcompensate, and there's just no need for it. It just makes the story weird.
But okay, in this sense, with Macy's, does this allow people to cancel Macy's because they feel like, was this deliberate, or can we only think that they, I don't know, because it's hard to really say that they intentionally made it to where, yeah, we're going to ostracize black men and only put them with another man and leave the woman by herself to show that they ain't shit.
See, and that's I'm very honest with you. This is not negating the problem here. I looked at that picture with that woman and them kids, and I just assumed that the motherfucker was their sister. Like, it never occurred to me that, like, until I really looked in her face to see how old she was, I just assumed that bitch was their sister.
I mean, that's true though. I mean, but here's the thing.
But that's the way we're programmed, right? And if you are living a life where you are programmed to see racism in everything, which don't get me wrong, there's a lot of racism in the world. There's a lot of prejudice in the world. There's a lot of people making some weird ass assumptions about groups of people in the world. But it exists.
Of course.
So I can't speak to Macy's intentions or what their internal biases are. All I can tell you is that me as a person, because you saying, but I think it lends itself to the people that were automatically like, oh, it's a single mama. Where's the white mother? Because, like I said, I just looked at the woman and was like, okay, them pajamas cute or whatever. And then I thought it was just like sister or something. I said, oh, that's a cute picture. And then somebody was like, oh, that's their mom. And I was like, oh shit. All right. I mean, because I don't know. I think everyone views the world differently. But I think if we're talking in terms of me shopping at Macy's, like it's not H&M level debacle. You know what I mean? And just like, and people were cherry picking pictures to post too, because they were posting pictures saying there was only the black single mother picture, when in fact there were many other pictures of entire black families with the dad and kids.
Cherry picking like a lot of us try to do. Interesting. The plot thickens.
Because it was interesting to watch it unfold, right? Because the immediate outlash was like, oh, Macy's put out this ad, and there are no black families with the dad present. Everyone was in rah, 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 that's so terrible. Representation is gay people and all these different white families, but only black families don't have no dads. Then you do your Google, it's like 8 more pictures. And 3 of them got black, a whole entire black, and 3 of the pictures was of a black family with a dad. And then they're like, oh, well, okay, well, how come there's no single white mom? You see, it's like, the narrative shift. You can't make it the narrative shift. And you want to move the goalposts. And there's nothing wrong with pointing out prejudices. Like, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, you have a single black mom here, but there are no single white parents, or there's no single dad with kids either. And so you could say that you're upset by a lot of this or whatever, but it's the oppression Olympics. Because then if there hadn't been a gay couple, they'd be like, well, there's no gay couples. Oh, well, I mean, I didn't see no Latin American, I didn't see no Spanish couples, I didn't see no Native.
I mean, that's brings up the question, because then you look at it like, is it like, because here's the thing. Let's say they made every couple available, you know, mixed match, whatever. I still think people would have found an issue. Huh?
It's fucking pajamas.
I mean, this is true. We're just showing you what PJs we rocking with. We ain't saying this is how the family should be.
Just put them on a mannequin. Just have the bitches on a mannequin. What you do is don't even put the families together. Just have a bunch of women sit around in pajamas, have a bunch of men sit around in pajamas, have a bunch of boys sit around in pajamas, have a bunch of girls sit around in pajamas, and then have a dog. Don't put nobody together in none of the pictures.
That's what we do. We just gonna get a group of everybody. Just say they at a party.
Exactly.
Nobody.
Yes. Yeah, just don't have nobody in separate pictures. Just have a group of people at a party. Just take different photos of different people at the party in pajamas.
Oh man, that's.
Y'all like the movie?
I don't know, man. That's just. It's a lot. It's hard to really decipher, because you know I don't want to lend it to situations where people are crying wolf, and then when real stuff happens, they're like, oh yeah, kind of like that whole situation with this, right?
Nope, it's not the same thing.
Oh man,
people are raggedy.
I mean,
y'all to be fake oppressed. And when y'all, and when not a single one of y'all that posted them stupid ass pictures gonna buy no goddamn pajamas at Macy's anyway.
Probably not. You probably don't even shop at Macy's. Let's be honest.
They sleeping in their boxes and t-shirts, and they in their oversized t-shirts and panties, but all of a sudden we're concerned about Macy's pajamas sales. Okay.
Look, you gonna stop hating on them taking their dude's high school jersey to sleep in.
Well, they can go be oppressed somewhere else. Cause if y'all was gonna buy Macy's pajamas, y'all was gonna buy them regardless, and that ad wasn't gonna make or break whether or not you bought them. So bye, the end.
Hey, speaking of buying stuff, you know what? Lessons from the internet. You wanna know what I learned?
What did you learn?
I learned that if you bring a woman out on a date, and if you pay with a credit card, you defrauded her.
Was it her credit card?
No. If you use your credit card and you pay for the date, that's not a real date. And you ain't doing nothing but paying for her date off of the government's dime.
So does somebody here smoke crack, or what's up?
Hey man, I don't know, but she seems like she. Now go ahead.
I said, is there drug use involved? Because it seems like somebody smokes crack.
I'm not sure. She seemed really convinced that this was what it was. Because, one, I didn't even know credit cards were connected to the government. That's a new one for me. I learn new things every day.
So for those of you who don't know, apparently there's a video floating around. Was it a video, I think, of a girl who was in her car saying that she was upset because she went on a date with a gentleman and he paid for the date with a credit card.
Mm-hmm.
And she basically was saying that he was essentially, the way I understood from what I gathered from her rant, basically she thinks that credit cards operate like EBT cards.
That's what it sounds like. So we have some real lack of financial understanding here, but continue.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying. To me, that's what I got from it. I was just saying, it seems like she's upset because she thinks that he used a food stamp card to pay for their dinner, which he cannot do. So for those of you who don't know, it generally speaking, if you're getting government funds in the form of food stamps or an EBT card or SNAP or whatever, they can it's only for food purchases. And when they are
sometimes, you sell them on the side, but we'll talk about that.
Right, right. But if you're legally using them the correct way, then you're only able to purchase food and drink items with them, but you aren't able to purchase tobacco. You cannot purchase liquor. And additionally, you cannot purchase like hot food. Like you couldn't go to like a deli and purchase food, and you cannot go to restaurants and purchase food. And the only time there's an exception is if in the case of a natural disaster. That month during the natural disaster, maybe 30 days after, they will allow people to have food stamps to probably buy hot food, just because it is difficult for you to get to a grocery store. There may not be grocery stores open around you in order for you to spend those funds.
Oh, So I think the bigger question was this: are we really that financially illiterate, or did she feel like she really had a point?
Okay, so she's that financially illiterate.
Okay.
Like she's the fuck she's talking about. Because from what I could tell, she was, if he has a credit card, he's over 18.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume that she was over 18. From looking at her face, she didn't seem to be a teenager. So I'm gonna give her 25, maybe. At her big age, she should know how credit cards work. Like, you don't have to have a credit card to know that they're not linked to the government and that it's not fucking food stamp cards.
Even then.
Like, if you have children, if you go ask your children right now what a credit card is, that neither one of them is going to tell you that it's food stamps.
Yeah. So, okay, let's assume that she is very correct, that your credit card is linked to the government and you paying them.
What the fuck
Why does it matter?
The man spent, however he got the money, defrauded the government or whoever the fuck. He did it so that he could spend the money on you, girl. So why do you care? He could have defrauded the government and spent the money on him.
Yeah. I mean, he could have went out and got a loan to bring you out, which would have been a horrible decision. But, hey, that's, by all means, if that's what he want to do with the money.
I mean, he could have put his credit card to the ATM and got a cash advance off the credit card and paid for the date in cash. I guess that's what he's supposed to do for her.
I don't get it. I was like, are some people just trying to find a reason to be upset about dating? I have to find every reason for someone to be trash.
She's dumb. That's it. But she's two Crayolas short of a pack. She is, 2 cans short of a 6-pack. If the elevator don't go all the way up, it's not, the light's not all lighting up, or however you want to put it. To me, whatever terminology you would like to use for that, but she is not smart. And so when not smart people want to get on the internet and rant and rave about things they know nothing of, they are just showing their own ignorance. And so if I was them, I would just block her and never speak to her again. And I would probably call my bank or my credit card company and be like, I need to report this transaction as fraud.
There you go, report the whole data's fraud.
The whole data's fraud, and we can just wipe the slate clean and pretend that it never happened. Because if she's gonna get on social media and rant and rave about the fact that you took her on a date, and then she has the black ass nerve to be mad that you paid with the credit card, that's not the type of person you want or need in your life.
Nah, obviously not. Because then my question would be, okay, so here's been my question. I would have said, so you bought everything then with cash then, right? What are you talking about? It's like, did you finance a vehicle? Well, yeah, I'm paying on. Oh, so you paying the government back for your car? See, that's ridiculous. I can't do this. Was that?
She bought it with food stamps.
Hey, man, if only, huh?
Yeah, bought a car with food stamps. You know?
Pulled out that TANF card. Like, yo, let me pay for this straight cash, homie. Here.
Exactly, shit. Which is funny because I saw somebody that posted on Twitter, speaking of dates, a gentleman posted that he took a lady on a date to a food bank, essentially, like one of those the hot meal places or whatever.
Okay.
And so he was saying that he asked her on a date, his financial situation changed, and so he couldn't afford the date. And instead of just canceling the date, he took her to essentially to like a homeless food shelter where they serve hot meals.
So a soup kitchen?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not okay.
See, what? Man, because I thought it was just about the connection that we can make and, learning about each other.
I'd have come whoop your ass and his. Don't take nobody on a date to a soup kitchen. And all bullshit aside, the date part aside, if you take somebody to a food kitchen, both of you need to be taking your asses there to volunteer. If you can't afford food, why are you trying to go on a date?
Cause, man, I thought the date was just for me and her to get to know one another, man.
The soup kitchen 5 times a week. Cause it's free and it's not her name. What kind of character do you have to take food out of the mouths of people who do not have anything, that are less fortunate than you, in the name of a date?
Man, see, look, here's what happened. So my dude just kind of fell on tough times.
No, he found us on a tough time. His character is fucked up. He's out of fucking line.
Alright, fine. You okay, public service announcement. You can't bring your dates to the soup kitchen anymore.
Please justify it. You would go take somebody on a date to a soup kitchen and tell them, oh, my financial situation changed. Are you too poor to eat? Or like if your financial situation like you broke until you get paid again and this is what we're doing?
I mean, alright, fine. I guess stick to the $5 seat. Because I'm like, you could at least come over $5 from somewhere. You could borrow that. I don't know, is that back? Like, is it tacky to borrow money for a date?
That's a good question. That's a good fucking question. So if you would like to chime in on that, you know how to find us. You know, hit us up on the Twitters and the internets and let us know or comment below and let us know, is it tacky to borrow money for a date?
I mean, think about it. There's a lot of times where you only got one shot to give, and it's your only opportunity. So you like, man, I can't miss out. So hey, yo, homie, they borrowed $50. I got you. You know, I get paid in a couple weeks or next week. I just need you to friend it to me for right now.
Well, here's the thing. I think if you and I've always said this, if you borrow money from people, you need to either be honest about what the money is for, and give them, the option whether or not they want to give you money for that, and then you need to be prompt in paying them back. So my whole thought process, but once they've given it to you, you do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the catch-22 with lending money to somebody. Because you can come to me and say, hey, Remy, I need money because I'm $50 short on my light bill. And I say, cool, bro. Let me send it to you or whatever. You get my $50. How do I know you paid your light bill with that $50?
Yeah. So in that case, let me hold $50. I just want it.
No.
See? No. Just so I can just feel secure with $50 on my pocket, you ain't gonna let me hold on to that? You know I'm good for it.
I had $50 to give you, I would, but I don't. If I had $50 to let you borrow, then this would be a different conversation. I told you no because I don't have to give you. If I had $50 I wanted to let go of, then you'd be the first person I call. But I don't be having loose $50 like this. So
see, what you said is that I wanted to let go of. I don't know anybody that just wants to let go of their money.
Well, that's the whole point. You don't want it for any specified reason that would make you give it to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not in a financial position to just think half of $100 is cool to give people. They're like, oh, it's just $50. Well, it's just $50 to you.
Now you know you balling. That's my whole reason you able to move from coast to coast like that. I don't even know why you playing.
Oh, just coast to coast. Texas, so where's Texas is coast to coast now? I'm doing it. I'm living life then. Goddamn, I did it.
Yeah, man, going from the east to the west, yo.
Now I can rest on my laurels. I done did some shit. A mess.
Oh man. Speaking of morals, all right. This is the fun part. So first of all, let me just say, anytime someone gets taken off the world, depends on who we're talking about, it could be considered tragic. I hate to see anybody go, especially on stupidity, but we'll get more into that. Mm-hmm. So, of course, we had the story about our young, diligent missionary who took a trip to a little remote island to help convert some people who just didn't have the right, know the right way to the Lord.
John Allen Chew, something.
Yeah, I think it's Chew or something like that. I think it's how it's pronounced.
But yeah, he went to this island in the small little island. I think it's in the Indian Ocean. It's inhabited by people called the Sentinels or something like that. Maybe I cannot think of it. And they apparently killed him. But here's where it got interesting because they were saying, like you were telling me, basically he had went before and had managed to get away and decided he was going to double down and he just needed to convert these people to Christianity and went back.
Yes.
But the other part that they said is that actually he was not a missionary. It turns out that he is a travel and adventure blogger first and foremost, and it's just a Christian on the side of that. So he was already making these crazy ass trips and shit regardless, and blogging about them and doing video stuff.
Oh, okay. So he was an IG guy, but he was a Christian, as a side hustle.
I guess so, man. I'm not entirely sure, but I will say this. I think it's interesting because what a lot of people had to say was like, okay, well, you did that, but you're not thinking about the effect that it has on these people, these native people that are not, they live essentially off the grid. They've had, no contact with the outside world. They're saying even the tribe closest to them, they can't even speak to them because the languages are so different.
Yeah. I mean, I heard a lot of stories. Which one is true? I don't know, because you know how the internet is. You got one situation, you got 5 stories about it. So apparently they also did a history on that particular tribe, and like the early late 1800s. They had a captain from, I can't remember one of the European countries that went over there and kidnapped a couple of people, and a couple of the adults had died, but they gave the children back. So I don't know if that's a reason on why they're so protective, but the main thing they like, look, allegedly based on reports is they don't want to have contact with outside world because of potential diseases and things like that, which we know happens. That's what happened with the natives, right, and a lot of other groups.
And it's not even them not wanting contact, but they are a protected group by the governing body in India, or whatever. They are a protected group, and that's why they don't let people go there for tourist visits and all that other stuff. And it's for your protection, but it's for their protection as well.
Yeah.
I think it's saying there's like less than 300 of these people, and then our bodies have built up immunity, and we have vaccinations for stuff. And just because and that's what people seem to forget about diseases and the way that they work. You can be a carrier for a disease and it not present in you, which is why, which is things like chickenpox, smallpox, the flu, rubella. You can be a carrier for the disease and not contract it, and then pass it on to other people. And based on what their immunities are, they may contract that disease. So what you're doing is putting people who have never had any access to vaccinations or been around anybody with these diseases to build up an immunity. You're basically, it's like you're going over there and having like 26 different diseases and just like licking their faces.
I mean, here's the thing though, and it's so messed up because everybody kept giving him the Darwin Award. My whole thing is this: if anybody is shooting arrows at me, I know they're serious. Because think about the decision you have to have in order to shoot an arrow at somebody. Like, you're going to lose the arrow, you got to draw it back, you got to really think about it. So you got to put some real actions behind trying to take somebody out like that.
Oh yeah, that's not a pleasure.
Yeah, and if you get away and you decide, I got to go convert these folks, they need to know about how Noah had that ark down. Really? Like, of all things, this is what you want to waste. I ain't going to say waste, but it comes off as like you wasted your life because this is what you wanted to do.
Well, not only that, I think it calls us to question this idea of white is right and white saviors and white people feeling like their Christian-based faith is the only way to be, right? So they have to spread Christianity around the world. Now, granted, I will say there are, certain parts of the Bible that do discuss, being able, going forth and teaching the word to people and spreading, the word of Jesus Christ, and his followers. But we've gotten to a place now, especially in the year of our Lord 2018, where you have to realize is that if people don't want to be Christians, you gotta let that go. It's one thing for somebody to tell you they don't really have religion one way or the other, they don't believe in none of that, and you're like, oh, well, let me talk to you about Christianity. Cool. But if I'm like, I got my shit over here, I'm good, I don't want to be bothered, that's why you're fucking with me, why would you even do it? And for those of you that are like, oh, we should spread Christianity to everybody. Look, when Jehovah's Witnesses come knocking on your door at 9 a.m., you let them in and accept the watchtower because you're about to read about it and become Jehovah's Witnesses?
No, half the time when Jehovah's Witnesses show up to the spot, you pretend like you ain't home or fully ignore them.
Nothing that they are going to tell you is going to make you convert to being a Jehovah's Witness. And that is the same fucking idea. People are out here living their lives and they do not need white people to come in and play savior to them and force Christianity on them. We've seen the way that they have done that, the crusades in the name of killing in the name of Christ or whatever. And it's like, it would be different if y'all wanted to sit down and have some food and talk about Jesus Christ in a peaceful way, but y'all get on this Christianity kick, and white folks like to go shooting up shit.
Yeah.
Y'all like to shoot shit up. Y'all like to blow shit up. Y'all like to disease everybody in the area, kill them all off, kidnap their kids, force them to take white names. Like y'all, what do I want to say? White people manifest destiny the shit out of everything. Like you cannot have shit with them. Like they manifest fucking destiny, all of it. Like how the fuck are you trying to manifest destiny for people that are minding their own goddamn business?
They ain't called for you. That's what I'm like.
Don't come for me if I did not send for you. Them people over there minding their own goddamn business. Why are you worried about them people? The people done told you not to go. The government said we don't allow tourism here because it's dangerous. Don't go. We're not taking you. Don't go. Don't go. They shoot the arrows at you. You come back. Like, you wanted that. God, good luck, everybody. You wanted that. So
I hate to say it, and it sounds so messed up. You asked for that one, man. I was like, they were chilling over there in their grass skirts, letting the wind run through their sack. They chilling, but you just had to do it. I think that even the people who brought them up, unless he paid some fishermen like $350 to bring them over there, and they even told him, this ain't the place you want to go, man. But he canoed on over, so hey.
The business. You got what you want. You got what you went for.
Good. And then, of course, let's fast forward to the United States. You know, in Dante's America, you had a situation going down with, a FedEx driver. And what was that? I want to say that was in what part of town? I want to say it was in Oregon, wasn't it?
Sounds right.
Yeah. So yeah, apparently there was some guy who basically was shooting up racial slurs and proceeded to try to hit a FedEx driver. FedEx driver wasn't having that, so he kind of course, I'm probably lying like a mug right here, but he kind of, ducked it like he was Ali in his prime.
Let's backtrack.
Yeah, hit him with the Balrog punch and knocked the soul out of him.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, because he's super paraphrased the story, he gave you the Campbell's condensed soup version. Essentially, a guy was delivering FedEx packages, and he's black. And a older white gentleman basically was yelling racial slurs and ugly things at him, feeling like he was going too fast in the FedEx truck when he was trying to deliver packages.
Mm-hmm.
Guy was like, I'm not going to stand for all this. So he pulls the truck over, hops out, and that's about where your story kicked in.
All right.
And the white man swings first, and his punch doesn't connect, and the black gentleman who's the FedEx driver punched him, and it connected, and he fell to the ground, and it ended up killing him.
Mm-hmm. Now, of course, as of right now, the driver is cleared of charges as of right now because they said that the fall, basically, the man who was hit was in poor health anyway, and the fall basically exacerbated a lot of his pre-existing conditions that led to the untimely death. But it also kind of goes in that whole talking about, look, the driver was minding his business, and you decide that you about that life today.
Well, when you read, the clown comes back to bite, and in his case, the clown came back to punch, and now his ass is up there with the white Christian Jesus they love to try to force on everybody else.
Of course, because I'm willing to bet. Now, this is an assumption here, but I'm willing to bet based on how I've seen things play out before, that if that man would have survived, he would have been the super victim afterwards. Like, oh my God, he just attacked me. I don't know what happened.
Well, there were multiple witnesses said that he wasn't feeding and that he didn't punch him first. But of course he would have tried that. Then an old 85-year-old white man, probably a war vet or some shit, sit up there with this veteran's hat on. Oh, they mistreated me, and this is how they do veterans in this country, and that black man, that nigger punched me.
Yeah, I didn't know. I just wanted to talk to him, and he just proceeded to attack me. So that's why I swung at him.
Oh, God.
You know it would have been that way, man. And I was like, I would like to believe it wouldn't, but just the things that I've seen and the stories I've read, I'm willing to believe that's how it would have went.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, man. But, I don't know. Okay, last thing. I didn't say last thing. Last internet story. What's the best way to out a cheating fiance?
No.
You don't know? Hey man, how about reading his cheating Texas text during the wedding ceremony? Hey.
Fine. It sounds like it. Yes.
Oh man, yeah. Apparently that happened, and that actually happened. I want to say it was an Australian couple who was supposed to have gotten married. So this is where I want to kind of give a little PSA to the guys, man. Look, if you out here living like that, or ladies, if you out here living like that, y'all have to make sure that whoever y'all messing with ain't gonna, throw salt in your game or, blow your spot up. But anyways, there was a young lady who, right before her wedding day, got a text from the alleged woman who her fiance was messing around with, basically spilling everything. So instead of breaking off the wedding right then and there, she decides to go to the wedding. And she hid her phone in the bouquet of flowers. And as she went up the aisle, she removed her phone, basically told everybody there's not going to be a wedding, and here's why, and proceeded to read all the text out in front of everyone. And then even after she did this, she said there's not going to be a reception. What we're going to do is have a celebration of the importance of honesty in all of our relationships.
Well, I stand a prepared petty queen.
I mean, I found it funny.
Honestly, truly.
I mean, it was funny though, but I mean,
iconic.
Here's how I look at the whole idea of cheating, and I mean, I get some people they get into it. Ain't nothing special like something new. Okay, cool, but it's one of those things like if you know you're doing it behind somebody's back. My whole thing is once you do it, you kind of give the power to the other person, especially if you got evidence that they can spread. My whole thing is you intentionally almost have to do whatever this person says, or they can just mess up your whole little situation. Especially if you got ends to lose. You're lucky he wasn't married for like periods of time. I don't know how the laws work over there, but you got a lot of people who've been married 20 plus years and they out here messing around like they still dating. And then if they old lady find out, they get taken to the cleaners and wonder what the hell just happened.
Look, if you, I don't even have the words because you know what? I commend that young lady because really, because that's all you can do. You get to a point where everything is paid for. So you either you either go through with it and marry this person knowing that they're a cheater, or you stand in your truth, realize that you are better off without that person, and you break it off. And I mean, she could have just, went ahead to the ceremony and pulled him to the side before it started and be like, we're not getting married today. I know what you did. She didn't have to read it in front of everybody. That was her choice. But I think it also lends itself to what happens with a lot of relationships, like we were talking about in last week's episode. People emotionally manipulate you. And when they do that, they get family members involved.
Mm-hmm.
So she very well, like in her mind, she could have very well thought, well, if I wait and if I go to him with this before the wedding, then he tells his best man and his mom and his dad and whoever what's going on. Oh, this isn't true. Please, talk to her. She's being unreasonable right now. And then they're telling you, well, we're all here and he really loves you. And, this isn't a way to start off your day. You should put that aside. She's a hater. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, she ain't doing. She just don't want to see y'all happy. She's just mad because he broke it off with her. All kind of stuff. You already know how it goes.
Anything. And so she might have felt that she would have been emotionally manipulated and still agreed to get married. And so I'm not going to knock her decision to do it publicly. Because I think that's what a lot of the backlash was. Why would she wait and do this in front of her family and friends? And it probably was embarrassing to her. But I think in the same way that she felt that embarrassment, she felt he also needs to feel that embarrassment. Because then he won't do it to the next person.
Here's the thing. You can't control, and I think we hate, and this is part of the reason why we lie. But you cannot protect people from their feelings. You cannot control how they react to what you tell them. Or whatever happens to them. You can't control that stuff. So you might as well be upfront and get that aspect over with, or this will happen. And it could have been worse. Like, she could have been one of those ones like, oh, you gonna do this to me? And then all of a sudden now she lashing out. Now, I'm not saying that's right, but I get it.
You can settle with a friend.
Exactly. You got people who be like, oh, you gonna do this to me? I ain't the one. And they come through clapping. And you wonder, man, she tripping. I'm just saying. So it's like.
So, I mean, as I said, kudos to her. Like, I can't necessarily knock her decision to do so. And if they were able to celebrate, you know, the people that were still there and celebrate the truth and you know, and being able to stand up for yourself, I commend that because I think there are far too many people, women and men in the world, that are in relationships and they feel like they can't do better or they feel like their life won't go on without this person, or they get in the spot where they're engaged or about to get married and they feel like they cannot call it off because they've spent all this money or whatever. And the truth of the matter is, you do what you want to do. And don't ever let somebody back you into the corner and feel like you're stuck there with that person. Don't ever be afraid of what it is to be alone or to have to be by yourself. Don't let that be the deciding factor for you. Because if you can't feel like a whole, complete person without that person, you don't need them. That's a whole other can of worms we'll talk about on a different show. But that type of dependency or codependency on a person is not healthy for anybody. So if your sole reason for getting married is because you need this person in a codependent way, you need to call that off anyway.
Yeah, you got bigger problems than being with somebody. You need to figure some things out.
Oh, amen. You absolutely do. And if they're cheating, you certainly move. Granted, like we said before, I'm not going to say that cheating is a deal breaker for everybody. And for some people, that'll walk down the aisle anyway and address the shit later. And if that's you, there's nothing wrong with that. You have to do what's your situation. But the truth still matters. And if the truth is important to you and you don't feel like you should have to settle for somebody lying to you or not telling you the truth, you do what you have to do.
Amen, sister.
And she did what she had to motherfucking do. And I'd have been out there in the audience like, yes, I love this motherfucking song, sis. This is my 2 a.m. jam.
Hey, man, I ain't gonna lie. If that was my homie, I'd have been like, damn, B. Damn. I wouldn't even know what to tell her. I'd be like, ooh. Hey, dog, she gone, man. I don't know. What am I supposed to tell?
The man left with him. So everybody else stayed and kicked it.
Oh, man. So, yeah, we all been in that situation where you got to be loyal to the homie. Like, you'll pull him to the side and say, man, you know you don't need to be doing that. But then when you get asked, you like, man, I don't know. Do women do that too? I don't know. Is that just that can't be just a dude thing? I know y'all had to lie for homegirls who ain't out here living right either.
I cannot do that, and here's why. Because I don't want to be privy to your lies. Because when you lie, you have to be able to keep up with your lies. And so when you include other people in your lie, you are now committing them to help you keep up with the lies that they never told.
Okay. Can you just, how can I put it, act as if you don't know? Like, I have no idea what's going on.
And I think generally that's what people do when they cover. They just kind of feign indifference, right? They're just like, I don't know anything about that. But the problem with that is that when you do things like that, that person then expects you to always cover for them. And if you're my friend, I would expect you not to put me in positions where I then have to constantly cover for your poor behavior and your poor life decisions. Now, we always talk about toxic relationships that extends to friendships.
I ain't gonna lie. I remember I had a homeboy. Every time. I remember one time, his homegirl called, and she was like, hey, is such and such over there? Let's say Charles. And I'll be like, nah, man, I ain't talked to Charles today. Really? Well, he said he was, that's where he was going to be. And that was like over an hour ago. Oh, yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, you know what? You're right. He had just left. He said he had to go get something to eat. And he said he's going to be on the way back. You know? And this is when I'm like, you know, early 20s. So I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever. You know, I'm hold it down for my dude. But it's like when you go back over it now, I'm like, dang, man, I should have did that. I should have been a man. Look, I don't know what he's talking about. But I guess you get caught in because, you know, that whole loyalty aspect. You don't want to feel like you're going to out the guy or the homegirl, whoever. So you want to feel like you got their back. So you may either just not answer or lie for them.
I think mine would be not the answer. I think I would just stay out of it, not answer at all. Whatever you're doing, the dirt you're doing, I don't need to be privy to. So don't put me in the middle of that to make me have to make up a lie for you, because I have to try to keep this lie straight, and then I have to try to remember this lie. I'm not gonna do all that. I'm not gonna remember lies to you and your bullshit ass relationship.
Mm-hmm. See, that's what I'm
My
thinking. Next time, my old lady get mad at me for something, I'm gonna be like, yeah, man, I was at V Spot the whole time. She's like, you know, she stayed 8 hours away. I say, God, the private jet, man, you know.
I was there. Oh, no, sorry, we're not doing that. So the moral of the story is, there's nothing wrong with covering for your friends if you absolutely have to. But they make it a pattern of you always having to cover for them and their bad behavior. You need to have a conversation with them. Like, I'm not trying to say, and then, you know what, people have these conversations about accepting people for who they are or whatever, but you have to take a step back and look in the mirror and say, what kind of person am I that I accept this type of behavior from my friends? We talk about calling people out on their behaviors and their bad behavior and pushing them to be better people. I don't want you to be my friend if you're not trying to help me enhance and grow as a person. And you co-signing my bullshit is not you helping me.
I don't think people think about it. I think that's one thing we can say is I don't think people think about that aspect with friendships. A lot of people, first of all, let's be honest, people throw around the term friend everywhere all the time, bestie, whatever. Everybody's besties. Everybody's friends. Yeah, you can meet somebody off the internet tomorrow and people will be like, oh yeah, that's my friend. It's like, you don't know that nigga. What you talking about? Right. So I think when it comes to the growth of a friendship or the growth of that particular relationship, they don't look at it as, I'm here to help make this person better. I only consider that with family or, you know, my children or, hell, barely sometimes with the person you're dating. And I think a lot of times people are kind of laissez-faire with it, where they're like, man, look, whatever they do is what they do. I'm out of it. That has nothing to do with me.
Also true. I don't know. I think I'm one of those people where I take my friendships very seriously. If I said that we were friends, then that means something to me, and that may not mean something to everyone else. But I don't use that term in a way, because if I'm your friend, I'm gonna go up for you regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like, I consider that a serious situation. So if I'm feeling lie to you, I'm definitely gonna be like, you wrong with two left shoes. First of all, we're gonna have a conversation about all the goddamn lying you're doing. Because I'm not gonna cover for you anymore. And that would be the end of it. I'm just telling you, and that's gonna be up front. Like, I love you, I care about you. Whatever you got going on, you need to fix that shit. Get your shit together, because I'm not gonna do that again. And that would be the end of it. And that's what I would stick to. I've covered for you once. That's all I have for you. Don't come back to me asking me to cover you for shit else. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I've been called out. I mean, I don't know. I'm one of those ones. I'm open and honest with everybody, so even when I say some fucked up shit, I'll like, yeah, that's what I said. I know it's messed up, but that's what I said. You know, that's.
I said what I said.
Hey, I mean, I'm honest with it. I think a lot of my relationships have fallen because I've always been too honest. Because if someone asks me, I'm gonna let them know that, hey man, I'm over here. I say, dog, you fucking up. Just let you know. Now, if you come asking me, I don't know nothing, but just know that when things hit the fan, that's on you. Don't come to me crying because I'm gonna let you know, hey, you know what you was doing though. So this is the decision you're making, and I'll just leave it at that. But I don't know. I mean, maybe this is something we need to start looking at. It's like we need to start taking friendships more serious and stop, you know, kind of throwing those terms around so loosely, like it doesn't really mean much. And I think some people may look at friends, unless we've been friends for years, as disposable.
Yeah, so. And maybe it as well.
So. I don't know. It's just something to, you know, kind of analyze and look at. I think you had something else for us, like actually even going into the ideas of relationships and friendships. I think you had something for us, right?
Well, yeah, kind of. So I was reading, and he did a fluff piece, and they were talking about Casey Anthony. If you don't remember, Casey Anthony is the woman that got acquitted of murdering her then, or at the point of her death, 2 or 3-year-old daughter Kaylee. After the child had been missing for 30 or so days, she was found in a suitcase. Her remains were found in a suitcase in the Florida wilderness or whatever. But she was acquitted. And he did a fluff piece talking about how she was saying it was very hard for her to find dates and find love, but she was seeing somebody. And of course, the internet erupted, and they were like, well, girl, of course you're having a hard time finding somebody to date. You're a fucking murderer. Allegedly, because obviously she was acquitted of murder, so
Yeah, she was.
she was so in the eyes of the law she hasn't murdered anybody, but it was also Florida, so that bitch definitely murdered her baby. But that's neither here nor there. She definitely murdered her baby, but we're not gonna talk about that. The wink wink justice system says she was innocent, so I guess. But it got me to thinking about our relationship and second chances and redemption. And I guess my question to you is, if you were dating, let's say hypothetically you were not married and you were dating someone, or you were looking to meet people, what is your threshold for things that are acceptable in someone's past? I got acquitted for murder a deal breaker?
It depends. I think the context of what happened. Actually, I thought you were going to talk about the other one, but we roll with it. So I would say this. If you told me you got acquitted for murder because you got in a street brawl or bar fight because of whatever reason, and I'd be like, okay, cool, all right. But then if you tell me, yeah, they thought I murdered my ex-husband or ex-boyfriend. Now, I did catch him doing this and that, but he just happened to be dead and the knife just happened to be next to me, like some OJ stuff. And I'll be like, wait, how bad is she? I may still do things, but I may not be with her. Does that count?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hey, I'm just saying, like, there's really, I'll probably be the only guy to say or admit this. There's really some few things that will stop us from doing that. Now, if you're talking about being with her long term, that may be another question.
Well, yeah, I'm not talking about that because y'all will literally fuck anything. But that part's not. I really meant like seriously consider dating, because I think for me, I always say, I don't date people with felonies. Because I feel like if you had to really be committed to some shit to get a felony, so you can give me all the explanations you want to give me, but yeah. You can give me all kind of explanations, but you had to be doing some shit to come up with a felony.
I mean, I would say this. It depends. Okay, so let's say it's a situation where she got a felony for, I don't know, drug charges or something like that. It depends on when it happened. Now, if you're talking about you got this 5 years ago, or you just recently got this, then I'm going to have questions about your decision making. If you said, man, I was 18, 19, young, doing stuff I shouldn't have been doing, and we in our 30s, I'd be like, okay, what are you doing now to, I guess remedy that situation? I don't know. I mean, I guess it just depends on what they say. Now, murder. If you if you say you murdered your own baby, allegedly in her situation, I don't know if I could do it, because I'm like, man, that could spark up at any time now. Because I'm like, what really drove you to do that would be one question, and number two would be like, how I know you ain't gonna do that again.
Right.
Or if you said you touched on any kids. I mean, I get it. Some people may be able to move on past that, but back in my mind, I'm like, I don't know if I can trust that.
Right, like now I'm afraid to leave you with my kids. I can't leave you with any of my god kids, and nieces and nephews can't come. You can't be. Yeah, it just puts you in a weird position depending on what it is. Now, my thought has always been about felonies, especially particular ones. It puts you long term in a kind of a bad spot with that person, right? Because they can't really do things that normal people can do.
Yeah.
With felonies,
especially if they're on probation for it, which most likely they will be.
Right. You can't have, you are going to have a hard time finding a job. You're going to have a hard time finding housing, because most apartment complexes, when they run background checks, if felonies come up, they're not giving you an apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So you're putting it puts you in a position where, yeah, I could probably forgive you, but I'm putting myself at a disadvantage by dating you seriously.
Yeah. And even some education stuff, they can't participate in grants or anything. They have to I think they may only be able to get loans. So you're now increasing the financial burden.
Yeah, you have to apply for loans. You can't get government funding.
Which is kind of messed up when you think about it. It's like, how do you expect these people to get their life together and they lose on a lot of perks? That's another discussion, but just something to sit on.
Prison reform and jail actually rehabilitating people is a whole ass episode for a different day.
Exactly. I mean, Okay, well, answer this question. What is something that someone could have done in the past that you do feel like you can overlook? Or not overlook, but, yeah, I guess overlook.
Marijuana charges.
Okay.
That's easy. I mean, I feel like, I don't think marijuana, I think decriminalizing marijuana is probably a good idea. For most states, a small amount won't get you. You can get away with a ticket or no jail time for small amounts. So unless you was moving all the weed, you had to be doing a lot. But some a bogus ass weed charge is fine. I think I could let that go.
I guess with this may also play a role in the decision. Does the person's current situation help alleviate the idea of dealing with what they have done? So, for instance, let's say you met an individual and they may have had felony charges in the past, let's say 18 or whatever, and here they are 35, but they've been able to turn their life around and they're profitable either via a job or a small company or whatever. With those things added, does it then diminish what they have done previously?
Yeah, because like we were saying, I think if a person is able to turn their life around, depending on what the charges were, then you're able to look past that, right? Because it genuinely seems like they've been rehabilitated and they are like, hey, whatever I did in the past, I'm trying to move past that. I don't want that life for myself. I've moved forward.
Or if it was like, what's that one guy that all the women were on, the light skinned dude with the pretty eyes or some shit that they thought Prison Bay, I think that's what he went by, or that they gave him.
Yeah, the one that Jeremy Meeks.
Yeah, there you go.
To the fashion.
Yeah, I think he works for he's a model for Fashion Nova now, huh?
Well, he's a model, but then he also impregnated that Chloe Green girl, and I think they own Top Shop or something. Like they got buku money.
Oh, okay. Oh, so yeah, he just smashed himself on top. That's what's up.
Right. And so I think with him, people are like, oh, he's so fine. When you read down that list of charges, I didn't care how pretty that man was. It was a no-go. It was a non-starter. But now that, but he's a model and stuff, and he's on the straight and narrow. So, I mean, I guess there's something to be said about that. But that list of shit was so long, that nigga could never have a regular job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, attractive. And so he was able to, go viral and get a modeling contract. But how many people is that a reality for?
That's true. But I do think looks play a role as much as we like to denounce them and pretend like we ain't those people. Look, if they fine enough to you, you would consider a lot of things. Like, there's a lot of things we have gotten into and considered because that person was just that good looking.
But that's just fucking, man. That's how you date it. We can all say that. Like, yeah, I probably could have looked past the felonies to fuck him. Yeah, but that doesn't mean I try to build a life with that person.
I guess it depends on how never mind. how good of a work he put in. I guess that also may be considered.
Oh, on that note, all right. Yeah.
Hey, it's true. I don't care what y'all say. It matters. Man. But hey, man, this been here we go. Like we said, post Thanksgiving. I didn't get to see a lot of Thanksgiving pictures. I guess it's kind of whack to show pictures of your food, which I don't know why people do anyway. We all eating the same stuff. But V, socials. You want to tell everybody where to hit you up?
Yeah, sure. You can catch me on Twitter and on the IG. That is at VJ_Burton. On Snapchat it is MeekB. Twitter is normally the best place to catch the show as well. The show's Twitter is
@_pod.
Yay!
Yeah. See, I remember this time.
If you're live sitting while you're listening, you can always just add us. You can add the show. You can use the hashtag #ChopItUpWQ. Yeah.
All right.
Find you that way. Q. Other one that can find you.
Oh yeah, man. Y'all already know same old thing, man. It's at _Q_the_great. That's on Twitter as well as on Instagram. And y'all can hit me up at Quentin Simpson on Facebook. Also I do have a couple announcements. Y'all make sure if you are in the Houston area, If tickets are still available, make sure to check out my guy D Murph and
Mm-hmm.
Big Roy. They have their first live show for Why Not Sports out there in Houston. I can actually, I think I shared the link, but I'll share it again on my Twitter. Y'all make sure to check them out, man. Pretty dope folks, good friends of mine. Make sure to just support them. Any other announcements, church announcements we got?
I don't do that. Church announcements. So shout out to Kenya from To Kenya Talks. Y'all may know she uses her solo podcast. She is her senior year of college and she is graduating this month. She is probably next month in December. So she's in 25 days from graduation. If you know To Kenya, she has been very vocal about her struggles with her grandma passing and trying to navigate through these past couple of years of college and get finished. And so if you're listening, sweetie, we are super proud of you. And, everybody that meets Kenya talks about how wonderful she is and how much she is full of life and puts a smile on everybody's face and in their heart and just what a smart, accomplished person she is. So just blessings to you, peace to you. We are all super proud of you and ecstatic and over the moon for you. Like, could not be happier for her. So congrats.
Oh yeah. Oh man, see if I had to, I don't know if it weren't man, if only weren't December, I'd actually try to go out there. But it's holiday time. Mrs. is not hearing that.
Yeah. With the move and stuff, I cannot afford it. But we're there in spirit, girls. I'm gonna try to we're gonna try to send you a gift or something. We're thinking about you, but yeah. Kudos to you, congrats, girls.
Yeah, man. Hey, congrats. I remember when I first walked across, I was happy. It was like I just got out.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I tell people every time they like, oh, you went to yeah, I did my time.
Yep.
Oh, man. Other than that, we were great. It was great to be back. We enjoyed this one, and we appreciate everybody who does listen to this. And make sure to share it with everybody. Share it, comment, all these different things, good, bad, whatever. Just let me know what's up. We want to try to improve the show in all aspects in many different ways. So if y'all want us to even, chop it up on a certain topic or anything like that, y'all just let me know. Hit us up on all our social medias. Yeah, we're up for it.
Tell us that too.
There you go. Other than that, man, we up out, man. We appreciate it, and y'all be good.
Laters.